DC fans, but you shouldn't be so weary and tired today because we've got some very exciting, interesting updates for you if you love DC, if you're excited for this Superman trailer. But before we talk about this Superman trailer and the new rumour about a release date for it, let's talk about the report from every respectable platform yesterday that Daniel Craig and the director of Queer are in talks to make a Sergeant Rock movie. Before we start, I have no idea who Sergeant Rock is. I've tried to research him, but look, it just hasn't stuck in the memory. All I know is he's some soldier who can take bullets, can take a few punches. He's a very, very strong soldier. I suppose he's very, very Jack Bauer-like from 24. So it's an interesting premise, and this is what you're going to get from your James Gunn. He's going to tap characters from the DC universe we don't know, because this is what James Gunn's all about. Many people for many years have complained that all we ever get is Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. So a lot of people will be saying, about time, James Gunn. Thank you for doing this. Now, James Gunn is being very ambitious with the type of people he wants to make his DC movies and streaming shows. And I respect this ambition. He wanted Ben Affleck to direct Brave and the Bold. I mean, you've got to give him credit for that. If it was me, I would definitely allow Ben Affleck to write and direct and play Batman and Bruce Wayne in Brave and the Bold. But instead of being an old gritty and angry Batman, he's this mentor for his Bat family. So he's the alternative to what Batfleck was for Snyder and the DCEU. That's what I would be doing. Now, Affleck didn't want to direct the Batman film that he wasn't going to be in control of. It wouldn't surprise me if Gunn still has ambitions about Affleck, being involved, but maybe allowing him to help him shape that Batman universe. And I think people would be very happy if he played Batman and Bruce Wayne again. Bam! Because it's an alternate universe, because it's another Earth, it's a, born out of Flashpoint in the DCEU. He could still look like Batfleck, right? So if they could do that, that would be amazing. Now, I haven't heard anything, but if I was James Gunn, if I was the co-CEO of DC Studios, that's the direction I'd be going at. And considering that Gunn wanted Affleck to direct Brave and the Bold, why not allow him to play the character again? Because right now, they don't seem to be doing anything. And of course, with Reeves cooking, I don't think anything's happening there. We may never see this movie. We'll have to wait and see. But just for the fact that he's in talks with Daniel Craig, the former James Bond, he was a great James Bond. I'm not the biggest fan of the person of who Daniel Craig is. He's made some interesting comments. I think he can be very disrespectful. But he's a very talented performer, and he was outstanding as Bond, and he was brilliant in Queer. And Queer was directed wonderfully well. This director is a critically acclaimed director. This is huge. This is huge. This is as huge as Christopher Nolan directing Batman movies, but actually huger. So this is very, very ambitious. So even though I don't know who the hell really Sergeant Rock is, it's very, very, very exciting. James Gunn has also said he has big plans for Deathstroke in the DCU. And that's exciting as well. You can have all the plans that you like, but again, without a successful Superman movie, it's not worth talking about. I think if Superman does flop, you'll still see Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, you'll still see Lanterns, but they're halt on the other stuff. And really would be about Supergirl being successful, but he would be under so much pressure. The reality is James Gunn is a very good writer-director, as I've always said. This channel, this platform, and my Instagram will always say what's in my heart. Sometimes I will critique James negatively, and sometimes I will compliment him. Last night I rewatched his Suicide Squad movie. It's absolutely an amazing film. My favourite part is when, what's his name? Peter Capaldi, that's right, as the Thinker, starts monologuing about the American government and how, God forbid, they do it on American soil like the illicit experiments on Starro. But the way he does it, and you can tell that James Gunn really meant to kind of, be negative about the American government and the illicit things that they do around the world. I really love that bit. And it's very clever to have someone with a Scottish/British accent doing that dialogue. So James Gunn is a very clever guy. He makes really, really good to great CBMs. And again, I really love Peacemaker. And again, I'll say that's my favourite piece of work from James Gunn. So what he's doing could work. Just because I am sour and salty about what happened to Snyder and Cavill and the rest of them, it doesn't mean I'm going to sit here, crapping on James Gunn every single day. When I need to be negative about him, when I feel like being negative about him, certain decisions that he's making and the studio are making, I will tell you. I do think that Lanterns right now seems like a bit of a disaster, but we'll see. I don't mind. By the way, this is a guy, and this is a platform again that doesn't mind being wrong. When you sit here day after day talking about things that happen to be entertainment or anything else, sometimes you're going to be wrong. And you need to be comfortable about that. And you need to be comfortable about people saying to you, you were wrong there, Mick. I'm very comfortable about being wrong. Otherwise, there's no point in getting up in the movie. Now, Collider exclusively believe that the Superman trailer will be released around the 15th of December, mid-December, coinciding with the anniversary of Superman the movie, Superman 1978. Now, this could be true. Again, take a large pinch of a large grain of salt, because they're not saying this is definite. This seems to be a theory, maybe from the interview they had with Gunn when he was promoting Creature Commandos. I still believe that we could get this trailer any time from now up until the release of Creature Commandos, because it could do with all the hype it could get. If it was me, I wouldn't release it right next to the release of Creature Commandos. You don't want more people talking about the Superman trailer than Creature Commandos, which is going to happen, obviously. But if they were to do it in the next week, that would really bump up the release of Creature Commandos. And that's how I would do it. Now, the Disney Lion King movie, Mustafa, is being released mid-December, and they think that the Superman trailer will be attached to that movie, considering Mustafa is a kid's movie at the end of the day, and they want that kid kind of audience. They want that family audience, right? Because from all intents and purposes, this will be a more family Superman movie than Man of Steel. Although Man of Steel is cool, Superman's cool. I love Man of Steel. There's things in that movie that are not very kid-friendly, if we're being honest. And so, where am I at with this trailer release day? Look, everyone wants to be right. Everyone wants to seem like an expert, right? I mainly know what I'm talking about, but I'm not a god, I'm not one of the gods. I don't know. I don't know when this trailer's been released. All I can tell you, my gut feeling is that it's any day now from the release of Creature Commandos, because when I'm uploading my videos, I'm thinking, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the trailer. Has it posted yet? So in my mind right now, I think that this trailer could be posted any moment, any second, any day, any week now. I can't give you an exact date. I was surprised with the 15th of December thing, but Collider don't have any inside information. They don't. That's why they're saying maybe. And nothing solid right now, because it's a good guess. Oh yeah, it's the anniversary of Superman 78. Of course it would be a good idea to do it then. But James Gunn isn't that big on anniversaries. He'll mention anniversaries, but he doesn't necessarily do things on anniversaries. This is a studio thing. What do I think about him saying at the beginning of this year there would be no Superman trailer this calendar year, and all of a sudden we're going to get one? I think he didn't want to release a trailer this year. I think the studio are making him release a trailer this year, because this is what WB have done with the previous two modern day Superman movies. Superman Returns had a teaser trailer in December. It was released, I think, July or something, June, July. So it coincides with WB tradition? We will have to wait and see.